A very, very, very painful loss in Athens, Georgia last night for the Tennessee Volunteers. How do we end the road woes? How do the road woes end? How does Josh Heupel get over the hump, man? It's like we're right there. We're right there every single year. And I thank him, man. 5 years ago, I would have begged for what we have been experiencing the last now 4 years, being the fourth. But man, I want to get over the road woes. I want to get over the dang hump, and nobody wants that more than this team and this coaching staff. What went wrong in Athens? We're gonna talk all about it tonight on the next day, man. It's your boy Ruck in the building. Have my boy Sale joining. Maybe a couple of more of the boys will hop on, but I know Sale will be on in a few. But y'all know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the next day, Georgia week.
First play, second quarter, touchdown Tennessee. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
Straight up Tennessee family, what's happening, man? Happy Sunday. Hope you guys had a great Saturday. I know that it didn't end well with the Vols losing, but man, hope that you had a great weekend and Saturday was good, man. Top of the show, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, man, so you never miss an episode. Also join the channel, man, $2. Hop on in here, be a part of the Straight Up Tennessee family. We would so greatly appreciate the love and the support. We already get so much love and support from this family, man, and I just want you to know, man, we see it, we feel it. We know. And so I appreciate you, Sale, Turn, and that boy C2. We all appreciate the love, man, over here at Straight Up Tennessee. Man, last night, Apple and Spotify, before I hop in, what's up, Apple and Spotify? It's Monday for you guys. Continue to rate us 5 stars, man. Let the people know why they need to be listening to Straight Up Tennessee, man. So, man, I don't really know where to start tonight, you know. You come out in the first quarter, you lead the first quarter 10-0, you know, and everything looks like it did against Alabama. Oh man. In 2023, it looks just like it. Dominant performance. I think we were beating Bama 20-7 at halftime. First quarter, we up 10-0. Dominant. Defensive side of the ball, getting stops, forcing Beck to make really bad football throws. Overthrowing guys, getting close to throwing interceptions. We got PBUs. We're making him feel the pressure, but we weren't still getting home early. But it was just something about us being in control early. And then I don't know, man. I think the story of this one is obviously offense couldn't get things going in the second half. Things got going, but man, we ended up in too many 3rd and longs. I mean, it was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Like it was 3rd and long every drive. Like we couldn't get a first down on first down or a first down on second down. We got to 3rd down so many times in the second half, and there's no good plays for 3rd and long, man. Like, sure, they're gonna play they're gonna play soft coverage. Man, Georgia was playing 3-4 high safeties sometimes, man, like 3 or 4 just out there in the middle of the field, and Nico was still getting completions. So it's like that's the thing, is like you can't knock what was actually happening because we were still getting completions, people. Nico was still completing the football. Of course, we weren't. I mean, like, listen, the way that Georgia played, the way that teams are playing Tennessee at this point, the downfield shots are just not, like, they're not really a thing for us when guys are playing 3-4 high safeties. Like, it's just not a thing. It's not going to be a thing. And Georgia did it too. And I mean, there were multiple times, man. There was one drive, I don't even remember, man. They had 3 down um, 2 backers and 6 DBs literally in a straight line, almost 15, 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. And this is like in a normal down and distance. Like it's like 3rd and 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? Like 3, 2, 6, and they all 20 yards in a straight line off the ball. Like I've never seen anything like that before, man. And we complaining about not making the big play. Sure, we had one shot down the field to Dante. Nico threw it out, overthrew it. Whatever. It's one of those like, let's just test the defense. We tested it. I don't even know if it was really for us to get the completion. I don't know. I feel like that was just Heupel saying, hey, let's just throw it up here and make them at least adjust to something like this so that we can run the ball more or get underneath, whatever it was. But the story of the game is the defense. Oh, the story of the game is definitely the defense, man. God, I don't even have words for how bad it was defensively. It's like we couldn't make adjustments in game. We couldn't make adjustments at half. They didn't change anything. Tight ends. The tight ends absolutely murdered our backers and our frees. Will Brooks looked like a walk-on last night. I mean, Arion Carter looked like a sophomore last night. Just not the same team that we've been known to just be nasty on defense. 31 points we gave up, the most all year. And of course, it's on the road in a game that we needed the most. You know, we'll talk all about playoff implications and all of this stuff here later on in the show, but just setting up tonight, I just had to talk about it just from the top. Like, what was that? And obviously, we can break things down, and we will. I'll bring Sel on here in a few, and we'll chop it up. But it was just, I don't like to bring the referees into anything because I think, hey, control what you can control. And if you play well, you're going to win the football game. It doesn't matter how bad they even try to throw it. If you play well and you control what you can control, you score the football, you play physical, you play reckless, abandoned, like you just violent, and good things happen. And the simple fact is we were not the more physical team for the most part of the game, right? There were drives where defensively I felt like, yeah, that's the team that I'm used to seeing this year in 2024. But there were drives where we were just getting absolutely manhandled. And it's almost like when we look at the name on that jersey that we're playing against us, we looked at it and said, God, that's Georgia. But we didn't play as physical, man, as we have been. And so, you know, that in itself is kind of frustrating. It just it's frustrating, man. Frustrating. Hurts, man. See what my man Tim Rice says in the chat over here. Tim says, what happened to our defense, man? We had it right in front of us. Go Big Orange. Still have a lot to play for. You know, Tim is right. We do. We got a lot to play for. We have 2 games, man. UTEP and Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt being the biggest game of the year, never thought that would be the case for us. You know, I thought that, you know, realistically, I thought we would be 11-1 right now. I don't think any of us had the Arkansas game chalked up as a loss at the beginning of the year. That team wasn't better. But again, where was that game played? Right? Look at the Arkansas. Where was it played? Where did we play Arkansas? On the road in Fayetteville, same time, 7:30 night game. And we didn't play well. We didn't play well at all that game. Offensively, that game was piss poor. I can't say that last night offensively was piss poor. I felt like Nico controlled the game. I felt like the run game was there. Dylan Sampson, 19 touches, another 100 yards. He's now like 250 some yards, I think, away, or maybe it's 300 and something yards away from the single season rushing record of Travis Stevens there at Tennessee. He can break that. I think for me, as a fan, it's just everything was right in front of us. We had it. We had everything we wanted. Like, you had the playoffs on lock. You had the SEC championship on lock. And now you can kiss the SEC championship goodbye. You know, you have to kind of find bright spots. And that's hard to do when you just don't know what the committee is going to do on Tuesday, man. They obviously have been out on Tennessee for some time. Sounds like, Tuesday, it's not going to be any different at all. I feel like it's going to be disgusting. I feel like we're going to see some crazy, weird stuff. We're going to see some things that we didn't think was actually going to happen. And, the biggest thing for us is you get an Indiana team who has to go to the shoe this Saturday, and they're not winning there. I don't care what anybody says. If they do, y'all can come on here, cancel me, whatever. But if Indiana can go to the shoe and beat Ohio State, they definitely deserve to be exactly where they are. But that's not a good football team, y'all. Let's just be real. They ain't playing nobody. Come and hang out in the SEC for 2 weeks. You'll lose to Vanderbilt and Missouri back to back. Quick to cap. Shout out to my man Aaron Duck in the chat. He says, against a down, in quotes, Georgia team. Yeah, no ETN, no Branson Robinson, no Roderick Davis. Like, it just it wasn't good. It wasn't good enough. And so with that, man, now we can kind of chop it up and get a little deeper, man. I'm bringing my brother, man. I'm bringing my dog. Cell in the building, bro. What's happening, bro?
Today.
Say it again. You were muted. My bad.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
How are we feeling today?
Man, I just the first 12, 15 minutes, I just kind of went in, did our summary, man, just what went wrong,
Yeah.
The back half of the show, we're going to talk all about the playoffs and stuff has to happen. I've got a couple of things to look at in that, but overall it's disappointing, man, because it's like every time we get the opportunity to literally own our own destiny. This is in basketball too, man. Like, it's just something about the orange, just something about Tennessee. Basketball, football, baseball 2 years ago up until this year, finally winning the chip, right? Like, we find a way to screw it up for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is win that game. You a lock for the playoff, and you're a lock for the SEC championship at that time. And you're playing Texas probably in the SEC championship if you win last night. And who cares if you lose that game? Because guess what? You still lock. You locked yourself. And now, which we'll talk about here later, man, I've got a lot of stuff kind of has to happen because the committee has hated Tennessee from the beginning of the playoffs. Like, it's just, I don't see this faring well. Yeah, AP poll ranked Tennessee number 10. That don't mean anything anymore. We could be the 10 team in the AP poll. They could drop us to 14 come Tuesday. Just doing something crazy. Just because the second half adjustments defensively, Tim Banks, we've been just pumping that gas on Tim Banks, pumping that guy, give him money. Oh, Tim, we need to give you Millie. This nigga did the same stuff that he been doing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to go there, y'all. I'm sorry. This man, Tim Banks, did the one thing that we have not seen all year. We played the softest zones we have had. Yeah. We played 10 yards off, soft cover 2, and got torched over the middle with tight ends all night long.
Yep.
All night long.
I was like, after the night, I was just like, was this our worst game as a D line? Like, was Georgia's O line that good? Were there no holds? Is it? Should we have brought the house more? Like, I was over here like double guessing myself, and then you saying that, I was just like, no. And you know what? It worked at the beginning, and you could tell it too. Carson Beck didn't have that confidence, and then of course Kirk Herbstreit, all of them are going to bring it up. But it's kind of like Nico in that Bama game, that one play where he got a little bit of contact, it started changing a little bit. But it's just like, flush the man out of pocket, do something. Like, this man got all the time. He comfortable now. He feeling himself. Like,
here's the truth. Here's the truth about last night for Carson Beck. At one point, the dude was 4 of 12 passing the football. 4 of 12. Below 50%. How did he end up 25 of 40? Like, how does that happen? How does he's below 50% at one point, and he ended the game at 62.5%.
mm-hmm.
And the play, the very specific play that happened that got him in the groove was 3rd and long. We got pressure. He took it up the middle. Somebody missed the first tackle. Omar Norman-Lott missed the second one. He got that first down. He ran the ball, got that first down, got up, hit the slime, first down, and that was his juice play for the game. Like, that was the play that got Beck locked in.
That was the play I was talking about.
After that, I knew it was a wrap. I knew it. I was just like, nope, we beat. I didn't think we were beat, but I was like, defensively, he cooked now. He cooking. Like, he's locked in. And a quarterback that gets confidence. I mean, think about it. Nico played great. Confidence was there. He was hitting guys. I mean, of course, I said this a few minutes ago before you hopped on. We had one play that we tried to stretch the field with Thornton. Yes, Nico overthrew the ball. But I almost wonder if that was one of those where he was going to throw it there regardless. And Hype was like, dude, just throw it up and make them respect that we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, we weren't running the ball that well. As far as like the last couple of drives, we weren't running the football that well. Hype was like, man, let's back them up off of us a little bit. And it started to work. Like, it worked by just torching them deep one time, even though it was an overthrow. Then we started getting the run game going. Again, 156 yards on the ground, man. Like, it ain't like we didn't run the football. Like,
I thought we ran the ball great.
I mean, 152 yards. I'm sorry, they took out one of it because we had a sack or something that was -4 yards. But
read me
347 yards, bro.
Read me the stats off if you got them.
Well, Nico was 20 of 33, 167 yards, no tutties, no picks. Dylan Sampson is still being Dylan Sampson. 19 carries, 101 yards, and a tutty. Peyton Lewis got 6 touches for 30 yards, which is great. Nico, 12 rushes. Also, this has sacks factored in, but says he had 12 rushes for 24 yards. Our leading receiver as far as catches is concerned was Squirrel. Receiving yards was Kisselman. Receivers weren't good enough. Let's just call it is what it is. Call a spade a spade. I think one of the biggest momentum swings early in that game as Tennessee was driving was, and I hate this, man, because it's my dog, man, but when Dante dropped that ball close to the sideline because he thought he was on the sideline, that was kind of the momentum swing that we didn't need. He was wide open. Great adjustment by Nico. Great adjustment by Dante to push that ball towards the sideline. But he was worried that he was so close and took his eyes off the ball. And I don't know, bro. I think for me, the hardest part about all of this, man, is that we had the chance to finally get over the hump and get over the road woes. Dominant, bro. Dominant first quarter. Like, we here. And we just let it slip away. I don't get it.
So I'm gonna bring up some of the things that stuck out to me. So I'm pretty sure it was the first possession of the second half when we didn't go for it. We punted. I think I
It
think
was a
this is
false
when
start.
No. I think
No,
we did a delay of game so we have more room to punt on that one.
it was 4th and 6, was it not?
I'm not sure. But I was gonna ask you because we were literally in that dead man kind of territory, like right in the middle. Are you kind of like that early in the second half? Were you okay with Hypo punting it, or was you just like, no, in this game, go ahead and drop him and go for it? Like, what was your take on that? I know it was like the first possession, but what is your take, especially how ballsy Hypo can be?
I didn't know because I coming out of halftime, there's not really a momentum, right?
Yeah.
Like Georgia kicked a field goal. We were winning. They tied the game at halftime. So
Mhm.
that is what it is. I think it was smartest to not go there. Just play field position because you just didn't think the rest would screw you like they kind of did most of that game. In different situations. And it wasn't like they called a horrible game, but there were some situations, bro, where you just don't call that, bro. Like they
Mhm.
called on the run that Carson Beck had, the touchdown run that he had.
Mhm.
They called us for defensive holding. And if you look at the overhead, the sky view, everybody had their back turned. Like nobody was holding anything. So it's like he was going to score regardless. We were being held, if anything, on that play specifically. But back to your initial question, I think it was smart at the time just due to time of possession and where you were. Like play field position.
Yeah.
But then also you just, like I said, you didn't feel the momentum swing anyway. So hype was like, man, let's punt and let's go play D.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think if you're in Neyland Stadium, he probably goes for it.
Yeah. So with that statement, do you think if this game is in a neutral site or in Knoxville, that is completely different ball game?
100%.
And
Yep.
that kind of gives me confidence. Do I think we played semi okay? I do. I don't think we played
Yeah.
a full game. I think we got outplayed later in the game. But if this game is at a neutral site, if it's at home, I think it's a different ball game. I think it goes closer to the end of the game. I think if they don't think we're a top 12 team after that, and even Kirby said it, tell them to come play in this league and tell me how hard it really is. It's
Yeah.
just like, man, I hope Heupel is just, I don't know how much of a factor it will be, but just kill these next two teams and just blow them out of the water and run it up. I don't know how much convincing that will do, but man, it's just like last night, did we lose? Yes, but it's just like we are still a top 12 contender for these playoffs.
I mean, I would say name 11 teams better than Tennessee, and I
Right.
would wait. I would
Right.
wait for that. Name 11 teams that can beat Tennessee.
Now, I think there's a lot of things in our favor, though. Like BYU lost last night.
I was gonna get into that.
We gonna wait on that or what?
Nah, let's dive in. Let's dive in. Like, let's wrap the show with, are the playoffs still attainable? Like, that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, can Tennessee make it Tuesday night? They're gonna screw us, bro. They're not gonna put us in on Tuesday night. Just get ready. Watch. They're gonna kick us all the way out. But
Wait, before we get there, though, I got one more question. I don't know if you touched on it before I hopped on. Can you hear me?
yeah. What's up? I was waiting for you.
All right. So, what is your take?
Hey, LaCroix, sponsor me. Thank you.
What is your take on the 12-man call where there was no flag? We talked about that some in the group text last night, and the BS face mask that was non-existent.
The 12-man penalty I've never seen called after a play was ran.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a play ran, but like the ref didn't do his job there. Georgia subbed, so we had time to sub. I didn't even listen. People even are now coming out of nowhere saying, "Oh, the rule is they have 3 seconds." When has anybody ever talked about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was another just painful thing because the referee completely moved off the ball as Jackson Moy is doing the trot like you're coached to do that because it forces a delay of game. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I think that was trash. The face mask call,
That was a game changer.
he got his finger in the ear hole, man. He literally got his finger in the ear hole of the helmet, and he got it out, but they called a face mask because the helmet came off, man. Like,
That's terrible.
While I understand where you might call that, at that point in the game, really? On another drive where Georgia had 12 plays, took 7 minutes off the clock. Like the referees kept some of their drives in like ongoing, bro. It was nothing they were doing. The refs kept those drives flowing. And I hate that. And I don't like to blame the referees. It is what it is. It was hard, bro. It was hard to watch. I don't know. Derek in the chat says Georgia O-line apparently played a flawless game. Yeah, apparently there was no holding. I think they got called one time for holding. Pretty sure, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's see what the box score says as far as their holding penalty there.
I think you're right.
They had 7 penalties for 59 yards. We had 9 for 70. Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. But I mean, are the playoffs still something that can happen? Like this week, it's gonna look really bad. They're not gonna put us in. I promise you they won't. If they do, then maybe something in that game like open their eyes, right? But I'm pretty sure the committee don't watch football. I'm pretty sure they've never watched any of these teams play. I'm pretty sure they are looking at how many wins and how many losses do you have. And that's how they're judging this. I'm sure they don't even know the game of football. I'm sure they just are big money people who can sit in a room and make decisions because it sounds cool. And, you got to look at this, Sal, about this whole year and how Tennessee genuinely has a path to still get in. Let's talk about who's had bad losses. Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois at home.
Terrible.
Ole Miss lost to Kentucky at home. BYU lost last night to Kansas
at home.
Alabama beat Georgia at home. Tennessee beat Alabama at home. What's the theme? Teams that are ahead of these SEC teams in the playoff, the teams that they want to put in, lost worse games than we have at home. We went to Arkansas prime time early in the season and lost on the road by 5 points. You gonna hang that over our head when you talking about Ole Miss is just, oh my goodness. They jokers lost to Kentucky at home. You want to talk about BYU, who we all knew was fraud. Yep. They lost to Kansas last night at the crib. Notre Dame, losing to Northern Illinois, you shouldn't even ever be in the conversation.
No, never.
Texas's best win is against a Michigan team that ain't ranked. Once Texas had to play somebody, a.k.a. Georgia, they got they got busted. Penn State played one ranked game all year at home and lost. Indiana, 0 ranked games, but they the 4th best team in the country?
Yep.
No, bro. No.
Even if they lose this weekend to Ohio State, they still gonna find a way to keep both of them top 12.
According to the ESPN FBI, Texas's best win was at Vanderbilt.
Oh my God. So what are they gonna say in 2 weeks for us?
Our best win was against Bama, and Bama's now ranked ahead of us.
No, I'm saying that they ain't gonna say nothing about when we go down and beat Vanderbilt. They're gonna be like, okay, it's Vanderbilt.
Exactly.
The narrative's gonna change.
Because of who? Because of that right there.
Mm-hmm.
The media, for some reason, does not like when Tennessee is good. And I have yet to understand. Why we have to be just completely flawless. We got to just have insane everything. Can't have a bad game for anybody to believe that we're good. It's too much, man. Like, it's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating. And, I'm nervous, man. I don't think we're getting in. I just really think that they're going to F us, man, because we had it. We had a chance. And now it's in the hands of people, like I told you, who don't even watch the game. Don't even watch the games.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to give us some positivity. So, one, Ole Miss plays Florida at Florida with Flagway as a starting quarterback. He's healthy. There's a chance that might be an upset there. That's one game. If they lose that one, then they're out. Right?
Correct.
All right. So let's talk about these other games. I can't remember where or what's the scenario for all of them. Texas and Texas A&M in the last week. Where is that game?
I think it's at A&M.
At A&M. Okay. So that probably won't help us if they lose. Moving forward.
Yeah, it will.
You think it will?
Yeah, definitely. If they lose, it's gonna help us regardless.
Okay. That's another positive. Indiana and Ohio State. How is the Big Ten? Is there a division? How would the conference championship work out for them?
It's just like SEC, top 2 teams. So right now, their championship is a tie between Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State.
Okay. Do you think if Indiana or Ohio State lose 2 games that they're out?
Ohio State, no. Indiana loses 1 game, they gonna kick them.
All right, so that can happen this weekend.
It's going to happen this weekend.
Yep.
Kentucky plays at Texas this week.
At Texas.
I've seen stranger things.
Yeah. BYU, they better be out. The
only thing with BYU is that they could still win their conference, but they got to play Colorado. And I don't want to play Colorado right now.
At all.
Dylan says Ohio State's a media darling. They could have 3 losses and make the 11th spot.
I agree.
There's a path. We just don't really control it, man. We got to win these next 2 games and just see what happens. Because the thing about it is, after these next 2 games, you're going to have at least 3 weeks off before you play again. Because the first round of the playoff, if I'm not mistaken, is not until December 20th and 21st.
Okay.
So there's a way. But overall, I hate that we couldn't do it, man. There were moments, but at the end of the day, we didn't get it done. And now you look ahead to UTEP, and like you said, Sel, I'm hanging 70 this week just because.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. 100 if you can. I don't care. Just gas him more, put him in at halftime, and let him just rip.
Yep.
I don't care. Vanderbilt the same way, man. Come out and put them to sleep early, bro.
Yep.
Put them to night early. Don't even allow them to think twice about it. Derek says Tim Banks soft play calling in a second. Yeah, we talked about it early. Derek, it was bad. Just soft zones, no pressure. We sending 4 guys. I don't know if I saw a blitz all night.
Nope.
I don't think I saw a blitz really all night because they was killing us in the past game, man.
Yeah, your boy showed up though. Had a couple of pat downs. Omari.
Yeah, I was happy for him. That's what I needed from him, man. I needed him to show up, put his hands up, do some things, man. He changed the game on some possessions for sure.
Unfortunately, players like Boo Carter, Jerome McCoy, they were on the wrong side of a couple of plays.
The pass that the dude caught late in the game on McCoy's back.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know you got everything working for you.
For sure.
Like,
what was the score on that play? Was it 24-17?
Yeah, and then they scored, and it went up 31. That was the one.
That play was a nail in the coffin.
Yep, that was the one. That play specifically. Yep, but where do we go from here, man? I think, like we've said all day, it's right in front of us. Tennessee still has a path, and they got to take care of business the next 2 weeks and beat the piss out of these teams. They have to. They have to. You can't go to Vandy and win by a field goal. You can't, or else they're gonna be like, man, they struggle with Vanderbilt, right? They're gonna Texas beat Vanderbilt by 3, but nobody gonna talk about that. Nobody gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, we'll be live tomorrow night. We'll be live tomorrow night for the UTEP game. UTEP game week. I'm not even scouting them, y'all. We're gonna talk more about this game that we just played and how Tennessee can bounce back. I know that's what people want to talk about, so that's what we're gonna talk about. How can we bounce back? Every time we lose, that's what people want to talk about. And especially it being UTEP, them dudes have won one game. Don't nobody care about this game. All the views this week going down because it's UTEP. So we're going to get on here and we're going to talk about what happened last night. And we're going to continue to truck along, man, because it's still, everything's right here still in front of us. We just don't own that path like we should have. So, oh, man, Sal, you got anything, bro, before we wrap tonight?
On to the next.
On to the next one, bro. That's the mentality. Let that hurt. And then today at noon, you ain't thinking about it no more. Move on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep chopping it up about it a little bit tomorrow, but look ahead to UTEP and what's ahead. So we have the boys back tomorrow night, man. But if y'all know what to do, man, like, comment, subscribe, and join. Hit that join button, man. Join that channel. $2. But then also Apple and Spotify. Keep listening, keep sharing, keep downloading, man. It helps us. Helps the algorithm and all of that stuff. So for my guy, Sale, man, it's your boy Ruck in the building. Y'all, we'll see you back live tomorrow night, 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern. You already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We out.